Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Obi-Wan Pez. I'm here for N Simplex Pachinko, and tonight is going to be another Outer Wilds night. So, for anybody who didn't catch the last one, last time I started on a Trailhead tour, which was. Let's try that again. Sorry, now I'm actually recording. So. Good evening, everybody. My name is Obi-Wan Pez. I'm here for N Simplex Pachinko, and I am going to be doing an Outer Wilds stream. So those of you who were not here last time, this game is a 2019 release by... There we go. This is a 2019 release by Mobius Digital Studios and Annapurna Interactive. It is a adventure game that basically you just get to go explore stuff, and there's all sorts of really cool things that have been hidden all throughout the game. Outer Wilds was originally a set of student projects that were eventually compiled into one larger experience. Sorry. Just want to resize the window properly. Okay. Let's try it again. Alright, it was a series of student projects that got compiled into one larger game when the student and students in question started to do things for Mobius. There is a documentary out by NoClip, which I highly recommend after you've played the game, or potentially if you're not going to play it, just watched somebody stream it. I will front load my thank yous this time, so thank you to the, first of all, Mobius Digital and Annapurna Interactive for coming out with this really awesome, wonderful game. Thank you to Microsoft and the Game Pass team for putting it up on Game Pass. It is still up on Game Pass. If anybody has not played this game and you have Game Pass, I highly recommend it. Thank you to the people who have helped me create this stream. That is Lana the Plant Lady, Captain Space Toaster, the people over at Overwatch and Chill, and to the Stream Punks. Let's see if I actually get everybody this time, because I definitely missed two people, and I'm so very sorry. So, 16-bit Eric Campbell, Sam DeLev at DeLevely, Gina DeVivo at Pocket Gina, Xander Genre at Xanderific, Ravity Dompsey at The Ravity, Eliza Pearl, forget her Twitter handle, sorry, Aki at Shidare Aki, and Bonnie Gordon. Yeah, having a day. Anyway, I'm glad that any of you out there have decided to come here and watch my random video on Outer Wilds. I am also streaming on Wednesdays with mathematical content, so if you have a more mathematical type question, you can pop into my stream Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, that is 0200 UTC, and I will try and answer mathematical questions as well as do little seminars on just some interesting, cool things if people don't have any particular questions or if we kind of run out of steam, but I still want to keep streaming for a little bit. I'll give you a little. Sometimes it's like history of mathematics. Sometimes it's a little blurbs about like cool things that they just never teach you in school, or various other things I've picked up in reading books. Okay. So, a recap of last time. Part 1 on the Trailhead tour was visiting each of the planets throughout the solar system and trying to discover little hints and secrets about what exactly is going on. So the basic premise is that we are a member of the Harthian species, who are semi-aquatic, blue-skinned, four-eyed creatures who at one day long in our past crawled out of the seas on Timberhearth and began living on land. Timberhearth is a very lush forested forested planet. All of the planets in the solar system are incredibly tiny, so it really cuts down on the whole like space travel thing and needing to get from point A to point B in a short amount of time. You don't have to spend hours and hours just trying to travel. The other planets, we'll get into that. There was another species by the name of the Nomai who lived within the solar system some hundreds or thousands of years ago, and they were masters of very interesting, weird sorts of sciences that cropped up, including they were a species that came from elsewhere outside of the solar system, came to the solar system looking for what they called the Eye of the Universe. They said it was calling to them, and it's sort of their central religion. So they're trying to find the Eye of the Universe in order to understand the secrets about the universe, how it all works. And let me hit resume. The music playing, I did say this last time, but it is a brilliant story nonetheless, so I will keep repeating it. The main theme was composed by a member of Mobius Digital Studios, and he went and learned banjo throughout his entire experience in trying to write this music and perform it. He performed the music and recorded it on, day one when he felt comfortable. And at the end of the experience, creating Outer Wilds, not the Outer Wilds. There's another story in that. And what happened was he came back and decided he was going to, rewrite, re-perform all of his music because he was now much better at playing the banjo, which makes complete sense. But instead, he actually took his day one recording and did a duet of him playing with his final day recording. And then he put the two of those recordings together, and that's what we have here. His day one recording with his final recording, they got merged into this beautiful, can't find the right word for it, but just a wonderful little end cap onto the whole experience. All right. So you can see the ship as well as our traveler here. The moons are not quite that small, but they are pretty small nonetheless. Today, so for Trailhead Tour Part 2, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into all of the secrets that are going on, and we're also going to start looking into the places I did not travel to, mostly because they are difficult to get to. So there are several locations which are moving, and I thought, let's not land on moving targets if we don't have to on day one. We going? Okay. So we have here Giant's Deep and the orbital probe cannon, which we saw earlier. That is a probe that is in orbit around Timberhearth. Again, we are here on Timberhearth, and as always, let's roast a marshmallow. In subsequent streams, I will have different objectives. So I will have one that is going to be an achievement stream and one that is going to be a speedrunning stream. I'm not really any good at the speedruns, but I can at the very least show them to you and how to cut down on, or how to get fairly quick strats. It's been a while since I've updated this. Okay. Okay, so the new things, those of you who have not seen this before, you may want to go back and watch my first video. Or, you could just suffer through this one, it'll be fine. So here we have the Quantum Moon. The Nomai on Ember Twin observed a moon that would disappear when no one was watching. Quantum Moon sometimes disappears, possibly to an unknown sixth location. The Nomai device created to track the Quantum Moon's location was built on Ember Twin. The Nomai hypothesized that the Quantum Moon might be a form of macroscopic quantum mechanics. Anybody out there who knows quantum physics, that's not how quantum physics works. Yes, we know, but it's how quantum physics works in this game. The Quantum Moon travels to a total of 5 locations, although, again, there may be a 6th location. High Energy Lab. The Ash Twin project was planned at the High Energy Lab, a building with large solar panels on Ember Twin's equator. Several large Nomai towers form a ring around Ash Twin's equator. The Nomai debated building a sun station in order to power Ash Twin project. There is a Nomai city built into the walls of a huge underground cavern. The city is divided vertically into 4 districts. The Nomai debated building a sun station in order to power the Ash Twin project. Several Nomai opposed its construction, arguing that failure could result in the destruction of the entire solar system. During my first playthrough, it was about this time when I realized, oh no, that's what's happening every time we go through the time loop. The Nomai traveled to the solar system in pursuit of a signal from something older than the universe itself. They named the source of the signal the Eye of the Universe. When I also figured out that it must have been their fault that the sun was exploding, I had several choice words, and I was glad my children were not around to hear them. Chert has set up their astronomy gear on the North Pole of Ember Twin. Chert has spotted an unusually high number of supernovae lately. Escape Pod 2 is one of the 3 Nomai escape pods that crashed in our solar system. All 3 escape pods were launched from something called the Vessel, which was badly damaged. Anglerfish fossil. I found a cave with an anglerfish fossil inside, but the opening is only big enough for my scout. My children used to play a game in Fossil Fish Cave. There is a way to enter Fossil Fish Cave from Stepping Stone Cave. The entrance from Stepping Stone Cave is hard to see unless the anglerfish is fed a light first. Okay, I think that's all of the ones for now. So anytime you see a green star or exclamation point next to it, that's the new stuff. So Right now we have a few threads that we can pull on that are listed here. One is more to explore at the Whitehall Station. I arrived at the Whitehall Station right at the end of a time loop, so I didn't get a whole lot of time to explore it. Ash Twin Towers, definitely want to look at them. And the Sunless City, there are districts in it, and we only pretty much explored the top district. In addition, we know that the vessel crashed somewhere in Dark Bramble, so we want to find the vessel if possible. We also need to find Escape Pod 3, which, as we saw here, the vessel on our right here got stuck in, or the escape pod here got stuck in Dark Bramble, and these other two went to, we see Brittle Hollow and the Hourglass Twins. Alright, the Hanging City, we also can go to just north of Rybeck's campsite. Can go to that one as well. And Anglerfish Fossil, we need to like get inside of it. The Sun Station is accessible through flying directly to it, and that is in fact an achievement. I will attempt to do that again. It is an awful achievement. I spent probably 2 hours trying to do it. However, there is also another way to get there, which is much easier, so we'll find that at some point. Still need to get into the High Energy Lab and the Ash Twin Project at the Hourglass Twins. Ash Twin Project is going to be a lot harder. Well, okay, that's a lie. It's not going to be hard. But it is currently on Ash Twin, and it has a protective shell all around it. You can't get into it from physically being on the shell anywhere. The statue workshop we need to get to. The children bypassed the statue workshop's door and snuck inside via a dangerous route, and the cave is filled with water, so we can go to Giant's Deep and get in there. We also need to go to Giant's Deep to get to the orbital probe cannon, and the observatory on Brittle Hollow. Southern Observatory on Brittle Hollow will get us more information about how to bypass the current on Giant's Deep and get into the ocean depths. And figure out where Feldspar went. So, Feldspar is a lost hero of Harthian, or the Harthians, and the first astronaut that has been up here. After reaching the core of Giant's Deep, he went off to Dark Bramble and disappeared. So, but we can still hear him playing his harmonica. So, that is a way to track him. Hint, hint. The Dark Bramble seed is on Timberhearth. Jeez. And we got a bunch of other stuff to do here. Alright. Let's go and find something to do. What is that? Let's see. That's the Outer Rock. Okay, we've been there plenty. Let's go to Ember Twin, because we're nice and close. Burn toward it just a little bit. Gotta make sure we're not going to contact. Getting a little laggy today. Make sure we're not going to contact Ash Twin. Alright, here we go. Can steady. can go to that one there, not very helpful. Yeah, you can see the sun station right there below us. Oops, it is it's the other hemisphere. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna go here. This is a path that we found earlier, which is not necessarily where you're supposed to go, but once you find it, it is a much faster way to get to the Sunless City, and will allow you access to both the lower spaces, the lower space of the high energy lab, and also, okay, oops, that's not it. Yeah, you don't want to go here. Actually, we do want to go here, but we potentially could have waited a bit. Shuttle is currently resting at the Comet, so this is our Comet shuttle. You can recall a shuttle on the right. You do somewhat get used to the controls eventually. Alright, Clary, I fear our situation may be dire. Pi, Poke, and I landed here on this comet not long after its arrival on this star system. Our shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Pi and Poke were able to locate the fissure in the ice and the comet's sunward side, and they descended inside to investigate the source of the readings. But Pi and my sister have been gone for a long time now. They haven't contacted me since descending below the surface either. Should I leave the shuttle and look for them? I want to follow protocol, but I don't know what I'll do if they aren't well. Poke, Pi, come back safely, my friends. As you go through, it's kind of interesting to keep track of the relationships that exist, and the fact that some of these, well, all of the characters really have their own personalities. The Nomai, who are these people here, who have these spaceships, space suits here. That's his helmet. There. All of their helmets. And you can, in fact, steer the ship, bring it back here if you want. I'm a bit turned around now. Let's get out of here. Nope, not that way. Alright, there is a secret entrance. Like I said, we got out of here at one point earlier. So now we would want to go in to here because it's really convenient. Right here. Okay, if we get the scout launcher and do photo mode. Right, we're safe this way. So anyway, the relationships that exist with the Nomai and sometimes get a little bit convoluted, so you will have to be careful. Let's try and make the high energy lab first. Yes. Okay. So this is the high energy lab. Well, this is not it, but you know what I mean. We're going to find it. Just going to run through here. Ideally, you want to, there we go. Make sure you find the make sure you find the power cables and follow them. You do have to go blind occasionally. Just make sure that you don't get stuck on the on the cacti, because they are really bad news. You will run out of oxygen much faster. That away. Alright, so we are here on the surface. Great, and there's a lot of ghost matter up there. High energy lava has this nice little pathway that runs from the outside of the planet to the core. Not exactly the core, but close. There. Trees and oxygen, always welcome. Okay, now we do have to work somewhat quickly because the sand on Ember Twin is still rising. So we're going to open this. We notice that over here there are cores, just like we saw earlier. Remove one of these with a white inside of it, and if we take any one of the other ones and plug it into the other side, nothing much happens here, but right, this one is blank. However, if we take one of the black hole cores, insert it here, we now have a black hole which you can actually launch through. So here we see the mechanics of how the black hole teleportation system works, which also includes, as has been talked about earlier, what happens if we plug a lot of power into it. So when we plug a lot of power into it, you'll notice that this exited the other side before it went into this side. So again, this appears to violate causality, and we have to be very careful around this. I will show you sometime later what happens if you're not careful. Pi. Records show Nomai arriving at the warp receiver on Brittle Hollow very slightly before departing from the White Hole station. Raimi and I are devising an experiment to test if this is a real phenomenon or a simple machine error. Initial things first, our experiment setup will first pair a small black hole core with a small white hole core to mimic the setup on White Hole station. Raimi, hypothesis. It is possible for an object to exit the white hole before entering the corresponding black hole. In theory, what we want to try to reproduce is a negative amount of time elapsing between something entering the black hole and exiting the white hole at its destination. Which, again, physicists would tell you is completely impossible. Technically, they're right. But again, this is a video game, so good stuff. Raimi, an update. Our experiment here has produced the anomaly in arrival and departure times, but Pi is unconvinced that it's more than an equipment error. I hope to strengthen the effect to render it visible to the unaided eyes. To that end, we've decided to try adding more energy. I imagine the Sunless City's energy supply should prove sufficient. All available energy has been rerouted from the city to our experiment. Raimi and I are about to run a new test. Hypothesis confirmed. Hypothesis confirmed. I saw it, Pi saw it, hypothesis confirmed. This is beyond extraordinary. This changes everything. What a beautiful day for the intersection of abstract theory and practical application. Pi. Of note, Raimi, Yarrow requests that we let him know before we reroute energy to the experiment. I'd hate to leave him in the dark. Raimi, the Southern Observatory is asking if creating a 22-minute interval is possible. That is, to have something arrive 22 minutes before it is actually sent through the warp. We've learned that the negative interval of time between departure and arrival can be increased by adding more energy to the warp core. Problematically, the energy required to extend the interval increases at an exponential rate. Hypothesis: creating a 22-minute long interval is possible, but we are currently unable to generate the necessary energy. The energy is currently available, you say? Oh, you're a gas, Pi. My pun was intended, Raimi, so I believe it's you who is aeriform. Pi, Raimi and I believe it would be necessary to invent a new method of producing energy, a thrilling but enormous undertaking. We would also require advanced warp technology to be able to handle such energy. We would also likely need an enormous space to fit these proposed new energy and warp technologies together. The only location large enough would be Ash Twin. Alright, so we can come over here. Here we see something that looks like a sun, and this tower, which kind of like has almost like a sunbeams coming off the sides. Here, this looks like Ash Number Twin. I would imagine that this is Brittle Hollow. Don't know what all the blobs around it are, but anyway. Unless that's it. Okay, that's Giant's Deep. That one's obvious. Dark Bramble is not included. So that's probably Timber Hearth, now that I'm thinking about it. It's more trees. And this should be Brittle Hollow. Maybe? No, we'll see how it goes. Wait a minute. Got another scroll. Nope. Pi, the Ash Twin project will be one of our biggest undertakings, metaphorically and physically. To build it, we need a way to travel quickly between Ash Twin and each location that holds crucial project materials. Route. What if we use the warp towers, like the one we have on the Whitehall Station, to connect Ash Twin directly to each critical location? Yarrow. Of note, each tower on Ash Twin will warp to a different planet. My gratitude to those who notice my imprecise language. Yes, the sun is not a planet. I believe this has been sufficiently clarified. Kindly stop reminding me. Flux. We can design each tower visually to reflect its warp destination. The Giant's Deep Tower, for instance, could resemble a cyclone. The Timber Hearth Tower could be after a geyser mountain. Okay. Clary. Poke, Root, and I can begin work on this immediately at the Black Hole Forge. This will keep us busy. Okay, so there is also now some place called the Black Hole Forge. Should be a good place to check out later. Okay, and now we are back at the top entrance to the high energy lab. So we were already here before. There's our ship. 262 meters. Alright, let's not go into orbit. went into orbit. Alright, I don't know how far the sand has gotten in relation to the city, but I think it's probably far enough that I would rather go to Ash Twin and check stuff out. Yeah. Nope, nope. That is not where I wanted to be. There we go. I should have done that. Okay, so we can set down here. And check out destinations. Alright, full fuel, full oxygen. So here we have Giant's Deep. Again, looks like a bit of a cyclone here. Oops. Oh dear. There. Alright, if we stand on the black hole platform, when Giant's Deep crosses our field of view, that should be when I warp. Right, and here we are. Departure time, 863.72805. Arrival time, 863.72804. Return warp status charge. Step onto the warp receiver platform to reactivate return warp. Nope. Okay. Let's sort of bunny hop this. It doesn't always work, but... Alright, so we're back here. If we go the other way, keep going in this direction. Ouch. Yeah, alright. Some time has passed since I checked in with you, Pi. How are you and Idea progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, my assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. Pi, you know I don't find that funny. How curious, Raimi thinks I'm a gas, and I don't recall requesting that you monitor this conversation idea. I don't see what state of matter you are has to do with this, and I don't recall supporting the Sun Station's constructions, but here we are. Yarrow, hypothesis, time spent away from the station would be beneficial to you both. I'm immensely interested in testing your hypothesis, Hero. We may have done this last time. That at least we can agree on. Okay, so we've got some problems here. Just a few. Alright, so we're going to keep going. Hang on. Oh, that's how to get there. Right, okay. Right, so we are stuck. We're not able to get to that location. Right, and... this should be... Ash? Ember. This should be Ember Twin, which we're standing on. So I'm not exactly sure where this is going to warp us anymore. I actually have no idea this time. Sure hope I'm not wasting time here. Just to make sure this isn't going to pick me up. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Well, nuts. Nope, nope, nope. Do not consent. Okay, so actually this should be Ember Twin, but it's not going to be pretty. So that means this one should be Ash Twin, in theory. Just literally where I just was. Ship. That should be Brittle Hollow. I'm not sure I want to really warp there. Oh, oh dear. It's one of the other problems with this particular planet. Okay. There we go. Alright, there's the core. Oh dear. As always, arrival time 12:44, 17804, arrival 178. Doesn't matter. Black hole forage left 30 meters. So if we can get to Brittle Hollow's warp station, then we end up with a very nice way to get in to the black hole forge. Warning, be cautious near boarding area while the black hole forge is in operation. So one of the problems with this is we're actually on the ceiling, and if you break, you can actually down. can't actually fall directly into the white or black hole, come out the white hole. And now we've got nothing but to wait. Yes, and my thank yous at the beginning. I forgot Psyche this time. Having a good day. So Psyche is another streamer you should totally follow. And she did a run of Outer Wilds last year. And felt much the same way I did about this, that it was just a brilliant game. Everybody should play it. After a while, this does become a little routine. Zero it out and select autopilot. You do have to watch out for watch out for Ash Twin here. So if we are getting too close to it, you can always abort autopilot and then come in manually. It's not always the best idea, but oops. Alright, can park up here and then drop in to the little secret way in. Right there. Alright, now we have a ton of time to go and do this. We've already gone into the high energy lab. Now we can go to the next one down, which is the let's see, high energy lab trailhead. Number 2. Nope. Stepping stone. So we want to go to number 3, anglerfish overlook. Throw a lamp into his head. And then go to stepping stone. Okay, now that he's there, we leave it where it is. Do not retrieve the scout, leave it where it is. It's hard for some people. We're going to drop down to the next one. Keep tripping over cairns, that's fun. Yep, stepping stone cave. And now we're going to look for the light. So, the light that I've dropped into the anglerfish's mouth should be visible there. Oops, maybe not. Was that it? Ouch. Ah, there we go. Alright, recharge. And then we'll go for a jump here. Supercharged. Okay. kid's writing again. Levy, whoever it was when we ended last time is the anglerfish. Levy, rule change. The anglerfish now has to wear a blindfold and do not peek. Levy, the rest of us, the little fish, line up against one wall, and then the anglerfish says go. The little fish sneak across to the other side. If the anglerfish catches you, you're eaten. Last little fish to be caught is the new anglerfish. The old anglerfish gives the new anglerfish the blindfold and becomes the little fish. A little fish. Lamy, why are we changing it? It's too hard if you can't see anything. Aunt Pie says real anglerfish are blind, so you have to wear a blindfold. The rule stands. Ilex, rule update. It's okay if younger kids don't wear the blindfold when they're it. The rest of us still have to wear it for scientific accuracy and to make the game more even. Right, notice that now there is also a elevator here. Oops. Good thing I missed it. Malore, anglerfish study. The long growth protruding from its head is bioluminescent. Perhaps it used this growth to attract prey as a lure? Coleus, an update. Malore, while I was here making sketches of the anglerfish, I observed the children I saw earlier playing here again. They've added a rule to their game that incorporates our research. It's wonderful. I'm entirely delighted. It's never too early to appreciate biology. Coleus, the anglerfish's digestive tract suggests death by starvation. Malore, visually the specimen appears to be of the same species as the anglerfish in Dark Bramble. We don't believe it originated from this planet. Okay, so it does end in this chamber. Good. Alright, and then we are back on the surface. Alright, we're going to go update logs and see what else it is that we should look at on this planet. If not, we will head over to Ash Twin and check out the other locations. Possibly also check out the Black Hole Forge again, since we only barely got there in time. A Nomai city suspended beneath Brittle Hollow's northern glacier. The city is divided vertically into 4 districts. Nomai children used to play a game here. One player was the anglerfish and blindfolded the rest of the children. Little fish lined up against a wall. When the anglerfish said go, the little fish had to sneak across to the other side. Blindfold was added because real anglerfish are blind, and the adult Nomai were delighted to see children incorporate their research into the game's rules. The Nomai built something called the Sun Station, but not everyone supported its construction. Designs for each of the towers on Ash Twin's equator. Each tower warps to a different planet, although many Nomai were quick to note that the Sun is not actually a planet. Each tower was designed to visually reflect its warp destination. The towers allowed the Nomai to quickly travel between Ash Twin and all other locations crucial to the Ash Twin project. The Nomai plan to construct technology capable of producing a 22-minute negative time interval on Ash Twin. The Nomai successfully reproduced a temporal anomaly first observed at the Whitehole Station. Warped objects appear to arrive before they depart. The Nomai discovered they could increase the negative time interval between arrival and departure by adding energy to the warp cores. The Nomai wanted to know if 22-minute time interval was possible. They concluded it would require new technology to produce the necessary energy as well as an advanced warp core to handle these energies. Ash Twin was the proposed location for the project. Subsurface energy readings. The shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface of the interloper, the comet. 2 of the Nomai located a fissure in the ice on the interloper's sunward side. They descended inside to investigate. The Nomai landed on the interloper not long after its arrival in the solar system. The shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Clary, the Nomai who stayed behind, lost contact with the other two after they descended below the interloper's surface. I recalled a Nomai shuttle from the interloper. Okay. So we'll head on over to Ash Twin again, refuel. And let's try the Sun Station. Alright, it's gonna be a while. Let's back off a little bit. Oops. Ouch. Okay, we're good. Get to that location. Bail, 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 bail. Nope, okay, we're good. Oh no. Didn't get here quick enough. Alright. Well, okay. For next time, we need to get here faster. Alright, so now this should not pick us up, but it should transport us. This is a pretty big secret, by the way, so just to let y'all know, this is going to ruin a lot. So if you remember that room we were looking at earlier with the spinny lights and stuff like that, and the masks, this is where that projection stone was. 8 minutes, 8 seconds ago, received data from previous cycles. Masks receiving data from probe tracking module, Giant's Deep memory statue, Timberhearth memory statue. So there are 3 active masks. Giant's Deep memory statue was Gabbro. Timberhearth's memory statue was us. And probe tracking module is a 3rd active mask. No idea. 14 minutes until end of cycle transmission. Can see the ship going around us very quickly. Yarrow. Today we finished the excavation of Ash Twin. Here in the space we carved, we will craft our most ambitious project yet, the Ash Twin project, powerful enough to send information back in time. Pi, how far we've come since our experiments at the High Energy Lab. I can still hardly believe Ramey's hypothesis was true. Coleus, we've also finished relocating all subterranean plants we met while digging. Ramey, we'll need to keep our eyes on how significantly we've altered the environment here. Yarrow, Poke just sent the warp core to the final tower to us from the Black Hole Forge. Now Ash Twin can be connected to Giant's Deep, where Cassava is working with Avens to craft the orbital probe cannon, and where Phlox is sculpting the memory statues. Cassava, hypothesis, it was not by accident the core from our warp tower was the last to be forged. Poke, hypothesis, the cores could have been forged faster if Cassava had interrupted my work less frequently to ask for updates. Yarrow, the important point is that we are all connected through Ash Twin now, and also that I'm no longer needed for mediating your disagreements. Yarrow, our friends on Giant's Deep tested the orbital probe cannon today. Mallow tells me the cannon is doing well, and that Avens advocates for more launch power. If anyone can coax the maximum power from a device, Avens can. Yarrow, but then, if anyone can goad a device into exploding, that too is likely Avens. Perhaps I should check in with the orbital probe cannon crew in the interest of safety. Yarrow, would it help to remind Avens that Mallow, his love, will be one of the Nomai aboard the cannon, or is Mallow part of the problem? Yarrow, Phlox and Daz finished the memory statues today, and they are truly remarkable. When the Ash Twin project succeeds, or in the event it fails, the memory statues will activate, allowing us to gather more data before we shut down the project. Yarrow, Pi and Idea have worked hard on the Sun Station, and it is at last complete. If everything goes as planned, the structure will prompt the Sun's explosion, which will in turn supply the power that Ash Twin requires. Raimi, I'm impressed by their mental fortitude. This was the project's most difficult task, and in more ways than one. Yarrow, we're nearly ready to activate the Ash Twin project. Here's what will happen. First, the Sun Station will receive the order to fire at the Sun, prompting it to explode. Using the energy from the resulting supernova, the Ash Twin project will send the order for the orbital probe cannon to fire back in time by 22 minutes. Exactly 22 minutes after these orders are received, the Sun Station will again trigger the supernova and send the probe data from this cannon launch back in time. In total, the cycle created by the Ash Twin project will last precisely 22 minutes. We can end this cycle at will. Yarrow, these words were difficult to write. The Sun Station did not work. However, this is the closest we've ever been. The Ash Twin project is theoretically sound. We're only unable to power it. Perhaps there's another way. Suppose we redesign the Sun Station. To generate power of that magnitude, a supernova is still our only viable option. Raimi, believe me, I believe we can still find a way to create a supernova, my friend. Don't lose hope. Idea, this is easier expressed than accomplished. Hi, you can wait for the Sun to explode on its natural timeline if you prefer, Idea, but you'll need to find some way to halt our aging process. Yarrow, we are halting our research into creating a supernova for this moment. A comet has newly arrived in the solar system, and we're anxious to explore it. It's been a very long time since we last explored somewhere new, and we're excited to welcome this comet. Imagine what knowledge might be gained there. Final entry. Okay, so Ash Twin and Giant's Deep gives us... I've installed the masks inside Ash Twin Project Phlox. They look beautiful, although I do feel as though I'm being observed. Raimi, it's comforting to know these statues will not pair with until the project succeeds. Otherwise, I imagine the experience would be hard to endure. Phlox, ideally they'll only need to activate once the project succeeds. As a safety measure, however, the statues will also activate in the event of equipment failure. Raimi, they will? Why's that? Phlox, if anything goes wrong with the Ash Twin project, the statues and their masks will make us aware of the situation and enable us to fix it. Otherwise, it would be possible for us to remain permanently unaware of the problem. Raimi, I hadn't thought of that. What a profoundly horrific fate that would be. Alright, Brittle Hollow, matched with Ember Twin. Hourglass Twin project. Clary, I have good news, Hero. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed in the central chamber of Ash Twin. Poke, no it isn't. Yarrow, is everything well at the forge? Poke, the core's durability could still be improved. I need more time. Clary, don't worry, love. Poke is only nervous. The core is extraordinary, and her design work is beautifully clever. Clary, ignore her, Yarrow. The core is finished, and if my sister tells you otherwise, then she will be finished as well. Yarrow, I'm intrigued, love. Everyone here working on the Ash Twin project is excited to see it. Pi is beside herself with joy. Alright, Timber Hearth. Yarrow, my gratitude for the latest shipment. Ueno, this ore should be the last we'll need for the Ash Twin project. Ueno, this is exciting news. Can I offer an extra set of eyes for this final check, specifically mine? If my work here is complete, I'd be delighted to help. We'd be grateful if you would. The more eyes, the better. As the smallest flaw or opening, we've done this one before. Yeah. We did that one on Timber Hearth. Basically, let's make sure that there are no cracks, otherwise we're all doomed. Alright. Now this is the bad way. Okay. Artificial gravity control. Caution, you're about to access the core while the Ash Twin project is active. Removing the core will disable Ash Twin project. This allows us to, at the very least, come here and check out the core. So there is a warp core that is here. But again, this will, this serves as the warp core that is allowing us to stay alive after the sun goes supernova and jump backwards in time. So at the moment, this is kind of necessary for us to live. Alright, let's see. I want to go back. And stepped on a kick like this. Awesome. Okay. So this should take us to Ember Twin. So what we want to do is find the... So we've got the sun station, but we can't go there, because we need to be there, like, first thing. We want to find Brutal Hollow. That's Giant's Deep. that's where Ryback is, so got a while. Almost there. Alright, so we've got oxygen. That much fuel, but we don't want to jump, because if we jump we are going to disconnect from the ceiling and go flying into the wall. No, we're gonna fall. Exit to surface. So this is going to go to the northern glacier, I believe. Forge, north 40 meters. See here that Jesus. Sounds are a bit loud. Alright, so the wall here is broken, just like the other one. Can't get down any further, really. That'll go to the surface. We don't really want to do that. This is not really going anywhere. We can launch ourselves. Right, so that is the loading platform, which means we need to move the black hole forge, and I did not do that. So we can walk against this wall, but there's no real way to get there. So, cool. And similarly for this side, right? Hate that. Right next to my head. Alright. There is no pleasant way to do this, so... Okay. We want to land on those platforms there. Nope. That's not good. Rotate this around. Alright, welcome to the White Hole Station. If you fell through by accident, go fix it. So we actually. Might have missed something. Information or... Nope. Okay, never mind. There we go. Ember Twin Project Stone. Pretty sure I already have all these. Yep. Excuse me just 1 minute. Alright, sorry about that. So, we've done pretty much everything we can on this loop, and more fuel. Helpful. We do have a location somewhere around here. There we go. So this should, in theory, be one we've already done. Remy and I reviewed the records you sent, poking the appear to show no my arriving. Yeah, we've already done this. Okay. Oh, there was something there. Ship log updated. energy lab. Alright, so new objective for this one. Go straight for Ash Twin and try to get the Sun Station tower quickly as possible. Just burn toward it. Might have been a little too fast. Over here by the pole tower. And then just wait. In fact, we'll probably check this out just a little bit here. Alright, Ash Twin Project was the only thing we really found out. Hollowed out chamber inside Ash Twin, the energy cables from the surface are plugged into a protective casing at the center of the planet. There are 8 monoliths with nomized masks attached. 3 of the masks are actively receiving data from the probe tracking module, Giant Steep and Timberhearth, respectively. The Ash Twin project was designed to use the energy from a supernova triggered by the Sun Station to send probe data from the orbital probe cannon 22 minutes into the past. The Sun Station did not work. Although the Ash Twin project was theoretically sound, the Nomai were unable to power it. There is an advanced warp core still inside the protective casing at the center of the planet. Removing the core will disable the Ash Twin project. Actually, even there we go. sand wasn't even moving there for a while. Okay, so now it is. We're starting to move down. And we want to figure out where the sun station is. This is not the most efficient way to go, by the way. Alright, that's it, right there. It's pretty much due south from the ship. There's the interloper. Sun station. Almost there. So I think it should be after this pass. Be able to jump in there. That was interesting. And jump. Okay, so we got a broken door back here, which now we can open from the inside at least. That'll allow us to get back outside. And information pod that we can't actually open. Cool. There's the sun. There's Sun Station. There we go. Enough. Okay. Talk about disorienting. 281,042 years ago, no user commands received for 10 minutes, all systems entering sleep. So it appears that the Nomai are approximately 281,000 years old, or their civilization. 6 minutes 36 seconds ago, increased solar activity detected, Sun Station hull integrity approaching critical levels, closing emergency doors. Warning, opens emergency door. I mean, there's nobody else here, so whatever. So with all of this stuff missing, I have to now make it into that opening there. Uh-oh. So it was a harrowing experience. Mission science compels us to explode the sun. Idea, can't we change this? I don't enjoy working in such a morbid mission statement. Here's a better one. Mission, determine if it's possible to prompt the sun to explode. You lack a sense of humor. At least I don't lack a sense of ethics. Kindly refrain from going supernova on me before the sun does, Idea. Hi, but it's accurate. We're going to create a supernova for the purpose of scientific progress. That's our mission. Idea, our mission is to decide if such an irresponsible feat is even possible. Star has reached end of natural life cycle. Now approaching red giant stage. Warning, evacuate sun station. Approximate time until sun station is destroyed by expanding star, 2 minutes 48 seconds. Approximate time until star's death, 14 minutes 18 seconds. So we may have to quickly explore the rest of the stuff that's here. So I suppose it's also theoretically possible to grab any of these stones and put them into these locations. Right, so we already knew what that was. What happened? Did the sun station not fire? It fired, Yarrow, but it failed. The sun barely responded. There was an infinitesimally small surface level change, but they were barely visible even to the third eye. Pi, the sun station is useless. It will never and could never cause the sun to explode. I don't know what comes next, my friends. I suppose we must start over, but I'm not unsure how to start over. Yarrow, return to the Ash Twin first, my friend. Perhaps a change of task would help. Spire noticed a comet approaching the star system that we'd like to investigate. Pi, I heard for you, my friends. We all know how hard you've worked. I can only offer my compassion. How are you? How is Idea? We're well, Yarrow, or well as can be expected given the circumstances. Though disappointed, I may have disagreed with exploding the sun, but I never wished the device would fail. I hoped our terrible work was finished. So now we are back. twins. This one looks like Timber Hearth. Yep. Going with all the trees. That would get us back to the ruins outside of one of the mines. This is the one we want. Let's try going down here first. Oh dear. There we go. Clary, here's our first delivery, Yarrow. 1 warp core fresh from Black Hole Forge. Root is installing this core's sibling at Brittle Hollow as I write this. My gratitude, Clary. With this, an Ash Twin project is underway. I confess I'm deeply curious about what you and Poke found on the White Hole Station that started this project. Could I visit sometime to learn? I recommend you do. The White Hole Station is the model for the towers being built for the Ash Twin project, so a visit to the station will be doubly useful. I suppose, more precisely, I would like to visit the White Hole Station with you, Clary. Yarrow, stop using the scroll wall to flirt with my sister. In romantic matters, her density rivals the neutron stars, and go meet her on the White Hole Station. I'd be happy to explain our findings. I wish I could wait for you to arrive, but the forge and my unfinished work there is calling. I'll return with more materials soon. Alright, nothing else of note. So we'll try to zip out. There it is. To move the forge again. Oh. So we have a 3 on the wall, indicating the 3rd district. Yeah, that's gonna work. We're still good for now. Cassava, I imagine it's been hard on Poke again. I've been hard on Poke again. This, in turn, means I've made things difficult for her sister, Clary. Cassava, if Poke and I are on our oil and water, Clary is our emulsifier. She certainly makes us a better team than would mixing through shaking, although sometimes I would like to shake Poke. Jokes aside, I suppose my own fear of never finding the eye prompted my argument with Poke. That would be immature of me. I should apologize, at least to Clary, who could then tell Poke. Okay, there we go. No, I should have come up here. Okay. What is the eye of the universe? The eye is the source of the signal that brought us here. Suppose the eye is a more advanced being. The eye is older than the universe. Imagine how much it could teach us. Perhaps it is a cosmic library. How can the eye be older than the universe itself? Suppose it is a relic from a previous universe. The early universe was unimaginably hot and dense. If anything existed before, it would have been destroyed. Suppose the universe is older than previously assumed. What is the eye's signal? Suppose the eye wishes to communicate. The signal is the eye's voice. It speaks a language we don't yet know. Or maybe the signal is the eye's attempt at expressing itself. The signal is a call, or are we the intended audience? Of note, from the signal we were able to determine the eye's approximate age, or perhaps lack of age. Be welcomed in this place. This shrine is a space to reflect on what brought us here to the star system, the signal from the eye. We observed the eye's signal in our travels and followed it here to find its source. What we know is this: the source of the signal, which is we have chosen to call the eye of the universe, is older than this universe itself. The rest we have yet to learn. Enter and open your mind to its possibilities. Alright, we've been to all these places. Second floor. Alright, Black Hole Forge District, Eye Shrine District, Meltwater District is this one, and School District is below. So in the Meltwater District we have Black Hole Forge controls. Alright, this will bring the platform up. And so now we need to figure out how to do that first, and then go to the Black Hole Forge. I mean, it's not hard, just the fact that we have to do it. It's not super easy. The Ash Twin project requires a powerful yet highly advanced warp core. How shall we obtain it? Poke. I feel strange trying to recreate Anona's warp core without him. At times it still feels strange to no longer be his very young apprentice, and for the Black Hole Forge to be in my care and not his. Hypothesis, this will always feel strange. Even though my time with him was short, I miss my old mentor, and deeply. To have the chance to try this is thrilling, but I don't want to disappoint everyone. I think I can do this, probably, but what if excitement has clouded my assessment of my own abilities? Was I wrong in volunteering to build it? I was born in this star system and never saw Anona's warp core with my own 3 eyes. I only know what he taught me. What if I've bitten off a larger portion than I can consume? Still, all I can give is my best. As Anona would say, should my best prove insufficient, then we will find another way to achieve what's needed. I have Clary and Root in the Forge, and I have my clan. I am not alone. Solution 1. We could retrieve the warp core from the vessel. Flux. This would require a return to Dark Bramble. Plume, my father, said many good Nomai perished there. Psychad. My mentor Coleus and his old mentor once discovered and studied an anglerfish fossil on Ember Twin. Using that knowledge, we could avoid the anglerfish entirely. Raimi. I remember that anglerfish fossil. We used to play in the fossilfish cave when we were children. Coleus. What Melora and I learned from that fossil would theoretically help us evade the anglerfish, but our hypothesis was never tested on a live specimen. Raimi. The vessel's warp core is broken. At best, recall those present when the vessel crashed said it sustained lethal injuries. There's no guaranteed reward for this risk. Konoi. Perhaps we could still repair it. My grandmother told me there was little time to assess the nature or extent of the damage. Cassava. Even if it no longer functions, the old core could be a valuable blueprint, provided we're able to transport it back here. Solution 2, we could craft a new advanced warp core inspired by the vessel's warp core. Spire. Abandoning the vessel's warp core and its casing means losing valuable knowledge. Midas. It is true, however, it's knowledge we have little hope of recovering. It would be best to relearn, I think. Oh, I know. The greatest challenge here, I think, is we don't have the design for such a powerful core or any of the original crafters of the vessel's core. Clary. No, but Poke was apprenticed to Anona, who created the original design, and our Black Hole Forge is adept at crafting simpler cores. Poke. I believe I could be of use here. The vessel's warp core was created before my time, but Anona explained many of his designs to me. Idea. This is the safest path for our clan. Avens. Is the safest path the best one? Our goal is worth the risk. Cassava. Is it, though? We've tried for so long to find something that I and others now believe might be impossible to find. If the search for the eye is a futile one, we should choose the option with the least potential for harm. Poke. I would very much like to craft such a powerful core. More relevantly, I believe the Black Hole Forge crew and I could recreate the basic design. Okay, school district. ghost matter all over here. All down there. There's the school. Allow me explanation of festivals. All the nomadic clans from all over the universe meet in one place and share what they've learned in science and art. It's called the festival. I'm going to have to read this later, 'cause as you probably have heard, time loop is coming to an end. Don't forget, festivals happen every 10 years. Let's see if there's any useful information on this. Next time, formation of this universe by Solanum. Alright, so we gotta get to Brittle Hollow, raise the Black Hole Forge, and then get to, Ash Twin. This is where we start getting into more complicated setup. What do you know? So there are various ways you can get in to Brittle Hollow. You can jump into any one of the holes that are around here. The northern city can be, the Hanging City, which is around the North Pole, can be found by starting at any one of these places. It is off to the right now, I think. Could be backwards. One way is that you can just drop through. And very carefully try to find where the northern city is compared to all the rest of them. Alright, there is the Quantum Tower, Tower of Quantum Knowledge. And here's the Hanging City. So just look, make sure you're on solid ground. I made that mistake before. And we needed to get to floor 2, I believe. Right, floor 2. Nice. down. And now we need to get to Ash Twin to warp back to this location. Alternatively, I don't think that I would be able to use my ship, but you never know. No, it's through. Yeah, so there. Yeah, I don't think it's actually possible to end up going all the way up, but it can be worth a shot. Might have gotten a little tangled. Also, this might actually work, as insane as it would be. Uh-oh. Might have also gotten stuck against the other wall. Yep, I got stuck. Awesome. Nope. Nope. Okay, didn't quite work. Oh well. Alright, so we can also break free of this and go around the black hole. Which seems like a terrible idea, and it probably is. North Pole again, and South Pole. Nope, missed it. Oh well. All right. Yeah, so for the record, doesn't work. Alright, it is off to our left. So we can drop through this hole just like we did last time. Just have to be a little more diligent. Oh, that's not good. Which part of the ship was the reactor? Yep. If it's your vital systems hard enough, you can die. Ship will explode. No, well. Proceeding on foot is usually easier. There's the cannon. Alright, Northern City. Hanging City. No more messing around. We are actually going to go to Ash Twin and warp our way back to Brittle Hollow rather than trying to go up to the ceiling, because that did not work last time. Ryback. Alright, also, we could actually go to the other one, but no, I said no more messing around. Could potentially go to the South Pole, but... Alright, there we go. Ash Twin it is. twins. Gonna wait for all the rest of the towers to show up. Alright, sun. Twins. And we're back. Alright. So we're just waiting for the door to show up at this point. And hopefully show up before... the other planet does. Alright, get us set up right in the middle. And we'll see if this actually goes on the next cycle. May take longer, we'll see. Or I may also not be in the right position. It looks approximately right. Yep. Okay. Cool. So now we're at the Black Hole Forge, and the forge is pulled up. So now we can actually board it and get some more information here. And here we are. Got a scroll. Got another one there. Root. Where am I taking this first black hole core, and where am I taking the remaining cores once they're ready? Clary, all of the warp towers are being constructed on Ash Twin, so the black hole cores will go there. My gratitude. In that case, Poke Clary, I'm leaving for delivery. I'll send Yarrow your regards. Clary, Poke, I'll return to the forge shortly. I'm going to catch up with Root and help him deliver the first core to Ash Twin, just to make sure Yarrow receives it. Of course you are. Poke, the white hole cores are for the warp receivers. Each of the 6 receivers are being constructed at different locations, so those deliveries will be a greater pain in your cervical spine. The tower designs in the high energy lab on Ember Twin reveal each receiver's location. Ask Yarrow, he's familiar with them. Poke, of note, Yarrow believes he spotted a flaw in the warp tower's designs, namely that one of the warp towers in Ash Twin will never activate because its warp receiver will never align overhead. Does your romantic interest think a warp tower's alignment point is its receiver? Does he not know that the warp tower always aligns to the center of its corresponding astral body? That isn't an unreasonable belief, given the receiver does have to be located on or in close orbit around the relevant astral body. I seem to recall that was your understanding of warp technology at first. Clary, no, Yarrow understands the distinction. He likely doesn't realize the Hourglass twins are so close together they function as a single astral body, with a shared alignment point between them. Right, Ash Twin projection stone. I think it's not here, so... Clary, regarding the warp towers on Ash Twin, does each tower have to be perfectly aligned with the center of the astral body to which it is tuned? Poke, we don't need the alignment angle to be exact. It only has to be within about 5 degrees of astral body's center. Of note, this gives us a slightly longer warp window. I imagine this window will last roughly several seconds. As such, any Nomai stepping onto the warp platform during the active window will be immediately warped. We will need to be careful around the platform for the duration of the time it's active to avoid accidental transportation. Clary, I enjoy precision as much as the next Nomai, but if, for example, a tower's base were to shift even slightly, that tower might no longer align with its astral body. More accurately, I enjoy precision as much as the next Nomai, provided the next Nomai is not Poke. think we've already done this, but just to make sure. I have good news, Yarrow. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed in the central chamber of Ash Twin. No, it isn't. Yeah, we've done that. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can land on something quickly-ish. Probably won't have enough time to do anything. Less than ideal. Okay, nothing appears to be damaged. That's good. Then I noticed something strange. Warped objects appeared to arrive at the receiver on Brittle Hollow slightly before they departed the Whitehall station. This negative time interval between an object arriving and departing was incredibly minuscule, around 1/1000th of a second. The Nomai were skeptical if their equipment could even measure time to such a small degree. The Whitehall station was used as a model for these towers, which were built for the Ash Twin project. The sun station was designed to make the sun go supernova. The Nomai fired the sun station, but it had no effect on the sun. They concluded that the sun station could never cause the sun to go supernova. After the failure of the sun station, the Nomai took a break to investigate the newly arrived comet. According to the Nomai computer, our sun has reached the end of its natural life cycle. I found a switch in the Meltwater district that raises and lowers the Black Hole Forge. The Nomai debated how to obtain the powerful, highly advanced warp core required for the Ash Twin project. The Nomai traveled to this solar system in pursuit of a signal from something older than the universe itself and named it Eye of the Universe. The vessel's warp core broke when the ship crashed in Dark Ramble. The warp tower's alignment point is not its warp receiver, rather a warp tower will always align with the center of its corresponding astral body. The warp receiver must be located on or in close orbit around the relevant astral body. The hourglass twins are so close together they function as a single astral body with a shared alignment point between them. All of the warp towers were being constructed on Ash Twin, while the 6 warp receivers were being constructed at different locations. A Nomai named Poke successfully forged an advanced warp core for the Ash Twin project. A diagram depicting the alignment angle between a warp tower and its corresponding astral body. Warp tower alignment angles are not exact. They only need to be within 5 degrees of the astral body's center. This results in a slightly longer warp window that lasts roughly several seconds. Anyone stepping onto the warp platform during the active window will be immediately warped. Let's see what else we got. So at this point, I'm going to try landing on the orbital station. That's the shipyard. is a platform for landing. And there we go. Okay. Grab this. Oops. Okay, control module. Launch module. Probe tracking module. Okay, I think that's not exactly the way we came, but either way. So here we have an unfortunately damaged area. With another damaged area outside the ship, or exposed to space. That was one, so this was actually a thing. Alright, launch module projection stone. The launch module is rather in ruins. Avens, Malo, my better 50%. Kasava is sending the last of the cannon components. Soon, relatively speaking, we'll know the precise Eye's precise location. Kasava tells me he and the construction yard crew have determined a power setting we are not under any circumstances to go above. Malo, I see, and am I right to think that consequently we'll be ignoring that setting? Avens, I can posit with nearly 100% certainty our friends have accounted for our natures, so I suggest we do. Mallow, the thought of concluding our elder's curious and challenging search increases my heart's temperature, my love. Kasava, I have bad news, Avens. Yarrow says there was a problem with the proposed power source, so the orbital probe cannon won't be asked to fire. I think we've done this one, yeah. Did this one down on the planet. Just in case. Then head into any one of the other locations. Oh, right. Actually. Oops. Okay, so we have the Ashwin project. We of the orbital probe cannon. We're seeing here the information being fired out 19 minutes 39 seconds ago. We're getting pretty close. Request to launch probe received from Ash Twin Project. Cannon aligned with randomly selected probe trajectory. Gravity field activated. Probe tracking modules receiving data from probe. Begin launch log. Orbital probe cannon launch request successful. Probe launch successful. Oops. Warning, orbital probe cannon structure compromised during launch. Damage to multiple modules detected. Orbital probe cannon damage report. Severe structural stress detected. Assessing damage to modules. Control module intact. No structural damage. Launch module viewport window fractured. Module exposed to the vacuum of space. Probe tracking module missing. So 3, this is the one that's missing, right? Yeah. This is the one with the viewport fractured. Ball's gone too. So there's actually no reason to carry. Oops, nope, there was. Oh. Some information there. We'll see what it is. a bit more slowly this time. That was silly. Did I actually read the log and see what we got out of it? The broken remains of a Nomai space station orbit around Giant's Deep. There are 3 access ways branching off from the central hub area. The orbital probe cannon was created to find the precise location of the Eye of the Universe. The Nomai pushed the orbital probe cannon above its maximum power setting to create the greatest chance of finding the Eye of the Universe. The control module recently received a request from the Ash Twin project to launch the probe. The cannon was aligned with a randomly selected probe trajectory. The probe was successfully launched, but the cannon's structural integrity was compromised in the process. Damage is detected in multiple modules. The launch module is badly damaged, but its projection pool is still intact. A Nomai named Mallow agreed that it wouldn't matter if the cannon's structural integrity was compromised, since they only needed to fire the probe once. One of the probe cannon's 3 modules, the probe tracking module, is receiving data from the launch probe. Any Nomai aboard the probe tracking module will be the first to see the coordinates of the Eye of the Universe. A Nomai computer reports the probe tracking module as missing. Also known as floating in space. Alright, so we're broken here. But, you know what, let's take the other one we had, from Area 1. Nope. That's 2. That's 1. Okay. From Area 1, we also had the Giant's Deep. Projection pool stone that we didn't get to. So I'm going to take the Giant's Deep one and bring it over to the next place. Take it outside. This way. Nice and gentle. Really? Fascinating. Okay. Mallow, imagine Privet, the probe tracking module will be the first to know the coordinates of the Eye of the Universe, and you'll be the first to see them. Privet, I am honored and terrified. You won't ask the orbital probe cannon to use so much power that it breaks, will you? Mallow, fret not, my nervous friend. We only need to fire the probe once anyway, so who minds if it compromises the orbital probe cannon's structural integrity slightly? I would mind, Mallow. I would mind because we won't be capable of receiving our probe's data if the probe tracking module is destroyed. Oops. Can't go that way. Right. Okay, so the next step is finding out where the probe tracking module went. Our ship is over here, so we should probably get some more fuel. Appears to be just the cannon. Maybe the probe tracking module ahead of it. Let's see if we got anything else around here. Let's head over to the next piece of trash here. You know. Oh dear. That's an island. Okay. I forget where it actually went. This is the sad bit. So the good news about flying around in your ship is that you have unlimited fuel. Piece went. It's so weird. Usually it's... I thought it was usually here. Is that it? What is that? That's an island. That's unfortunate. Alright. Gonna have to go find something else to do. What else do we have? The interloper? Also got a Hollow's Lantern, I can do that one. So, as you can see, this is Hollow's Lantern. We got a whole bunch of active volcanoes on it. But one of these has a secret. Is it that one? I might have already looked there. Yep, right there. Hollow's lantern. Root, friends in the Timber Hearth mines, the last type of ore you sent us survives the longest in direct heat. Can you send us more of the same for additional testing? We're attempting to improve its durability, and our forge has already burned through everything you sent. Oh, I know. We'll deliver more to Hollow's lantern immediately. You must be fired up about crafting the Ash Twin Project's protective shell. Yes, the idea of an encasement that's supernova-proof, however briefly, has kindled my curiosity. Root, my gratitude. I imagine we'll also have an updated estimate of how much ore is needed to seal off Ash Twin Project. Will it be more than we initially thought? It will be significantly more. The smallest crack or opening in the protective shell would destroy everything. So, we've been here before, and now we know what the shiny stuff on the walls is. So that's the special ore that they need. There's only one place we haven't really gone yet. That is Dark Bramble. I think we're just gonna have to wait until next time, but still. Yeah, it's way over there. Alright, now we can see the full devastation that was brought to this planet by the Dark Bramble seed. If we go inside, got a whole bunch of lights. Fire at that one. We get an anglerfish. So we're not going to go to that one. This one up here. Ends up being another node. This side is another node. And this one over here. Is another node. So, if you remember from earlier, could use our Outer Wilds Ventures to try and locate Feldspar. So it says that Feldspar is coming directly from this location. And now he's in several different locations. So here, and also here, and also here, down there. So one of the things that you can do at this point is send out multiple scouts. So, okay, that's just a node. That's another node. That's another node. So we don't really have a whole lot that we can actually do here. Multiple, but they're all coming from that particular location. That's where we have Feldspar. That's what I get for waiting until literally the last minute to explore a new place. One of the problems with trying to activate the map while you're still flying. We also have our quantum moon up here. So if we try to land on it, it will completely and utterly disappear on us. So that's something to think about for next time. Feldspar's going to be up there. shoot the probe through the little seed, it made it out to where feldspar is, and we get a duplicate signal. One is up here. One is down there. It's the same one as before. Okay. It says it's roughly a kilometer away, so we can kind of go for it. Now there are multiple signals, but here we see we are coming in. Alright. First off, have a marshmallow. Mark feldspar. Whoa. Where'd you come from? No one's been here in, well, ever, actually. That makes you the second Hearthian to ever reach Dark Bramble. After me, of course. Well done. Say, it's you. They made you an astronaut, and you haven't blown yourself up yet? Good for you. Feldspar, you're alive. You never were the brightest hatchling, were you? Yeah, that's right, I'm alive. Been camping out here in my ship since, since my ship crashed violently. You crashed, but you're the greatest pilot in Hearthian history. I haven't lived in polite society for a while, so I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that wasn't sarcasm. My story goes like this. I just finished exploring the core of Giant's Deep, and I wanted to try my hand at Dark Bramble, seeing as no one had ever been before. Getting around a Dark Bramble was easy, mind you. Once you've dodged one massive interdimensional vine bristling with thorns, you've dodged them all. But after a while, I ran into this huge anglerfish. You've seen them, right? Big, gnarly things, and this was the biggest one I'd ever seen. Pull a few stunts, try to shake the thing off, nothing too fancy. I'm going full speed when the fish clips me, knocks me into a vine, and, well, like I said, I crash. Blammo. On impact, my ship starts making noises like it's coming apart from the inside, and I think, well, that ain't great. Sure enough, I barely get out of there before the electrical system starts sparking like crazy. It's either move fast or die unpleasantly, so I had to put a little distance between me and my poor fried ship. I camped out near where I crashed at first. I found this skeleton later. Great find. Would have been stupid not to use it. So I moved my setup over here, planted my emergency tree seeds. Been here ever since. Well, no wonder there are so many stories about you back home. You're not half bad yourself making it here in one piece. Anyway, that's how it all went down, hatchling. Story's over, but feel free to stay and enjoy the fire a while. Or don't. Fire's not going anywhere. Anything else? I found something. I found a Dark Bramble seed on Timber Hearth. Well, that's bad business, hatchling. As Churt'll tell you, if you so much as glance in Dark Bramble's direction, there used to be a fifth planet where Bramble is now. This infernal planet appeared at the center and just kept growing, and growing, and growing, until it shattered the planet and scattered its pieces across space. If we don't get that seed you found sorted out real quick like, I suspect Timber Hearth will be heading for the same fate. And I tell you what, we Hearthians have overcome far too much to be done in by some worthless seed. I found no more writing saying anglerfish are blind. Aha! So the blasted things do have a weakness. Meaning my fly as fast as I can approach dealing with them could have used a bit more thought behind it. Okay, well, at least they didn't eat me. All's well that ends well, huh? Hey, hatchling, pull up a marshmallow stick. Come to hear tales of my heroic exploits, have you? Where shall I explore here? That's the spirit. Anywhere's good, but you should know space is weird here. Intensely. Ever tried throwing your probe into one of those weird seeds? See there with a little opening? It's just big enough to launch one through. Your probe tracker will tell you the probe's in two places at once, but I don't think that's wrong exactly, because space doesn't work right in here. The seed looks small, see, but inside it's bigger. Much bigger. I've had a lot of time to think about this. My theory is that space in Dark Bramble kind of expands as you go through each sphere. That's why it's bigger inside those seeds. Well, that's my theory anyway. Keep that in mind while you're exploring Dark Bramble, and maybe you won't get lost inside forever. Good luck. You reached the core of Giant's Deep. How'd you do it? Giant's Deep core, huh? That was a wild one. But since you're asking, I gotta assume you haven't made it down there yourself yet, right? If I tell you how, it feels kind of like cheating. On a completely unrelated note, that sure was a big hollow vine my ship crashed into. Yep. If I were you, I'd go take a walk and see where it ends. You want to go to the tail end of this anglerfish skeleton here and look for a flickering light in the fog. That'll be my old ship. Path starts there. Where's your ship? Well, not far from here, as a matter of fact. If you go straight past the tail of this anglerfish skeleton here, you'll see a flickering light in the fog. Follow that, and you'll find my old ship. Or what's left of it, anyway. What happened to this anglerfish? Oh, the skeleton? Nah, it was like that when I got here. As near as I can tell, this anglerfish must have been chewing on the vine and eating a seed, and the seed grew and grew in the poor fish's stomach until this happened. Gross, huh? This skeleton was a good find. The light keeps the fish away, you know? See, they're territorial, so they mostly avoid each other. That's why I set up camp here. Shouldn't I tell ground control to come and get you? Well, yeah, sure, whenever you have the time. Frankly, I kind of like it here. Quiet. Peaceful-ish. You're a little young to understand, but it's a lot of pressure, being the best that ever was. Been nice to have a break. Where'd the ship go? Yeah, okay. Alright, so go to the end of this anglerfish. We'll follow the blinking light. Alright, so there it is. So again, we can see in here first. Yup. Don't do that again. You can see sort of the iteration between the designs that we have here from the different ships as we go through and meet all the Hearthians. Alright. So go and follow this thing. And gravity is 0.3. Trip 4. Entry number, I'm gonna say not 1. Crashes 3. Boring crashes 0. Personal best. Ho ho, I never thought I'd see one of these beasties outside of Giant's Deep. They were awfully useful back there. Maybe a jellyfish could be useful here too. Ugh, this thing tastes terrible. The outside is all rubbery and tough. Maybe that's because it insulates the jellyfish's insides from getting zapped by electricity. Right, I'm going to go inside this jellyfish's interior cavity and see if what's in there tastes any better. Note to Feldspar, do not eat this even if you are dying. It would be too sad if this were the last thing you ever ate in this life. I guess these jellyfish are only useful for insulation from electricity. Again, do not eat. Love, Feldspar. Where are we? Okay, there we go. Alright, so volcanic testing site. Ore samples from the Nomai mines on Timber Hearth were sent to this volcano for durability testing. The Nomai were trying to craft a briefly supernova-proof shell to encase the Ash Twin project. Even the smallest crack or opening in the protective shell would easily destroy everything. Feldspar's alive. They crashed their ship and is now camping inside a huge anglerfish skeleton. Feldspar doesn't think my scout tracker is wrong when it says my scout is in two places at once. They have a theory that space doesn't work the same way inside of dark bramble. Feldspar doesn't sound overly eager to return to civilization. They've been enjoying the, relatively, peace and quiet. Feldspar documented their attempts to eat this enormous jellyfish frozen in the ice. The outside was all rubbery and tough, possibly because it insulates the jellyfish's insides from getting zapped by electricity. Feldspar decided to venture into the jellyfish's interior cavity to see if it tasted any better on the inside. After tasting the inside of the jellyfish, Feldspar concluded that these jellyfish are only useful for insulation from electricity. Alright, there were a few other things that we needed to look for while we were here. You can go book Feldspar again. Maybe there's something here, but... Found the frozen jellyfish near your ship. Ha! So that old thing's still here, is it? It's where I first camped out after the crash, you know. Pretty cozy inside. It does lack the structural integrity and indomitable spirit of a camp made inside the shelter of the very bones of the species that tried to eat you, I suppose. Still, very cozy. Okay. That's Feldspar. There's the distress beacon. Okay, I've upset an anglerfish. Made it through. Somewhere up there. Got escape pod 3. Seka, our escape pod crashed as we tried to flee this place, destroying our movement and communication capabilities in the process. We've held out as long as we could here, but this pod's supply of breathable air is nearly depleted, and the anglerfish attack more and more frequently. Our best chance at survival is to return to the vessel to either repair the damage or more probably await rescue. Eskel. Seka, is the message finished? The vessel's beacon is already growing fainter, and it'll be gone in a matter of hours. We need to leave here quickly. Begin flight log, escape pod 3. Vessel has been mortally injured. Emergency sequence activated, awaiting departure. Now launching escape pod 3. Alert, multiple collisions have altered pod's trajectory. Significant damage to pod detected. Warning, navigation error, life support error, propulsion error. Scanning external environment. Scan complete. Gravity not detected. Breathable air not detected. Multiple life forms detected, potentially hostile. Verdict, do not exit pod. either. Din, there is now a new problem. Our equipment is detecting two distinct beacons from the vessel. Second, but it isn't possible for the vessel to be in two different locations at the same time. I agree, but the beacons are exactly identical to each other. Perhaps if I had more time. We're nearly out of time already, Din. The vessel's beacon is quickly fading. Soon it will be gone and lost. Eskel, we will follow the beacon whose source is nearest to us. But suppose that beacon is false. We likely don't have enough air to reach the farther of the two beacons, Din. The decision is made for us. We'll leave a trail of lights as we go. There's still a chance someone could hear our escape pod's distress signal. Seka, to any who come here searching for us, we followed one of the two beacons from the vessel to this place, but now we can go no farther. It's almost too faint to hear now, but the vessel's beacon is still faintly emitting from within this thorny seed, yet the opening is too small for even a single gnome to fit through, so our escape pod couldn't have flown through here. I don't understand how this could be possible, but this gruesome place seems to be able to manipulate space itself. Maybe this was our undoing. To be so close to the location of the vessel and still so far is difficult. Worse, the vessel's beacon is dying. Soon we will be unable to hear it. There's nothing left we can do now but try to perhaps find a way inside, or at least attempt to comprehend why this happened. My dearest hope is that the other escape pods were able to reach relative safety. So the anglerfish are blind, as was discussed before, but they can definitely hear you. And no wonder there's so many, right? We have plenty of eggs right here. Burn just a little tiny bit. Oh, there's another one right there. Cool, cool, cool. Oh. Of course, again, right when I'm just about to get to another place that I need to be. Nope. Abandoning the vessel. Is this thing broken? Our vessel is dying. We need immediate assistance. Let's see if real quick we can get to that module. I still have a feeling it's close. I don't understand what happened exactly. It's gotta still be in orbit somewhere. Here's the place with the statues. And we're to go down underneath. Actually get into the special lab here. So if we come through here, we see Nomai statues. Shelter, just in case. Phlox. Yarrow, could you kindly step back so Daz is closest to the statue? When pairing the statue, choose whoever is closest in proximity. See how its eyes have opened? That tells us that the statue has been paired with Daz. Now, no matter where he is in the star system, Daz's statue will record his memories and send them to the Ash Twin Project. This is extraordinary sculpting work, Phlox. He's outdone himself again, hasn't he? And now that we have our first successful pairing, we can test my memory storage prototype. Each statue will send a single Nomai's memories to his or her own statue unit at Ash Twin. Each storage unit will be equipped with a mask, the statue's counterpart, which will be able to send those stored memories back to the corresponding Nomai. Ash Twin projection stone, this should be the same. Yep, I feel like I'm being observed. And then this should again be the masks. Cool. Okay. There's one more place all the way over there, which we're going to have to take a risk on Storm's carrying this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this ship underneath the island, which is ridiculous. I do not really want to do this. It's just stupid. I'm deciding that I want to do this faster. I'm going to park it way up here. Wedge it in there. Probably. You know what? I'm hearing a storm. It's coming. Now, get in. Storm shelter. Wait for it to pass. I've actually got my ship up here. It's not a recommended strategy, but it works nonetheless. Flux, I'm curious, is sending a being's memories back in time the same as sending the being itself back in time? As an example, if I were to send my memories back in time, is that the same as sending me back in time? Not my physical body, but my essence. Daz, I imagine there are two different actions. Cassava, wouldn't both actions be effectively the same? Daz, I suppose that time was being rewritten. I believe this is different than receiving memories from what is effectively the future. Cassava, but isn't the end result identical in either case? So, arguing philosophy, time travel. Here we see the current. Big sparky ball of electricity down there, and jellyfish. Quantum moon. Oh dear. Alright, let's just head to the interlopers. Last little thing for tonight. I think we'll probably stop. Now we can see. There's a ship in there. Clary, this is troublesome. It seems the comet wishes to submerge the shuttle in ice. If we stay on the surface too long, the shuttle may freeze entirely. Poke, even if it did, couldn't someone call it back home with the gravity cannon on Ember Twin? Pi, yes, but the exploration of the comet would be more difficult if we were without the shuttle until someone recalled it. Perhaps we shouldn't have landed on the dark side of the comet. Clary, suppose one of us remained in the shuttle to keep it warm and continue monitoring the surface. Pi, that would be wise, I think. Clary, if you don't mind waiting here with it, Poke and I can continue to investigate the surface. That's unacceptable. Alright, well. I was mostly doing that because I know something that not necessarily we don't. But there should be a recording somewhere around here. Actually talks about this phenomenon. Maybe not. All right. Alright, so that's going to be it for me for tonight on Outer Wilds. This is Obi-Wan Pez. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for helping me make these streams possible. And thank you everybody for coming to my math streams, even in many more than there are here. Being Annie. So, again, I'll see you on Wednesday night for another math stream. And try to make it interesting for you. Have user requested questions, and I'll probably throw something out there on let's see, this one probably on why my channel is called N-Simplex Pachinko. So this is Obi-Wan Pez for N-Simplex Pachinko, signing off.